Hello world! Apparently I've amassed over 100 subscribers on YouTube. Not bad for a guy who doesn't look after his channel properly now, is it? With that in mind, I can't think of a better way to celebrate this incredible milestone than by pulling back the proverbial curtain and showing you guys how to create your own split screen visual effect. Hey, You're special. Stop it. Stop it. Now, I've used the split screen effect in a number of my videos. In some cases it's been rather obvious, and in some cases it's been less so. But the process for creating them has been exactly the same. Split screens are one of my favourite effects to do, and they're actually pretty straightforward once you understand how they work, providing you set up your camera correctly and you've got the correct video editing software to actually handle the effect. When I first started out, I was using Windows Movie Maker. Then I very quickly dropped Windows Movie Maker because it's trash. I then picked up Sony Vegas and used that for a little bit. Then I got the opportunity to play with Adobe Premiere for a while. Then I went back to Sony Vegas, but for the last 3 years I've been using a piece of kit called Hitfilm. Hitfilm is developed by FXHome and is a combined video editor and visual effects program that can be used for 3D animation, green screen chroma keying, colour correction, or just simply for cutting a movie together. Now, I use the professional version of Hitfilm, which isn't cheap, but there is a free express version of the program that you can get, and you should still be able to replicate this effect. With this in mind, let's talk about setting up your camera shot. I'd recommend keeping the shot wide for your first split screen effect. That way, if you make mistakes, they're going to be a little easier to correct. Once you've set up your camera shot,
don't touch the camera.
Except when you need to hit the record button. The slightest movement in camera could spoil the shot, so once it's ready to go, lock it in place and make sure it's steady. You're now going to record the first part of your shot. Imagine there's an invisible line running down the center of the frame. Have your actor keep to one side of the line the whole time when filming the scene as character number one. It might be helpful for the actor to have a body double to be in the scene, so they can get a good eyeline. A good eyeline will help sell the effect, as it makes the audience believe the characters were both in the same scene together at the same time. Next, have your actor change to the other side of the invisible line. Again, it might be useful for a stand-in to sit in character number one's chair and say their lines so your talent can react appropriately. Finally, I'd recommend taking what's called a clean plate. This is just 10 or so seconds of footage of the same shot but without your actors or stand-ins. It's usually not necessary for a split screen effect, but I like to do this just in case I notice something in the background, say a bird flying past a window, and I don't want that to be in the shot. Right, let's open up Hitfilm and create our effect. We'll import the clip of me talking to Jimbo and the clip of me as Chaplin. Once we've imported our two video clips, let's drag one of them onto the timeline. Next, let's right-click the clip and turn it into a composite shot. Composite shots allow us to add effects, whether they're complex or simple. At this point, we have the option to rename the composite shot, so it's easier for us to identify. I'm going to call this one Chaplin Split Screen. We're taken to a new window with a new timeline. Now, let's drag our second clip to this new timeline and drop it underneath the first clip. This is called layering. We now need to sync these clips up, as one is a little longer than the other. But there's a problem. We can only see the first clip, the first layer. So, let's twirl open the first clip and twirl open its transform properties. See the option that says opacity? Let's drop that down to 50% for now. Now we're able to see both clips at the same time. Let's drag them around until we get the action of me sitting next to Chaplin and him reacting synced up. That looks about right. Okay, let's raise the clip of me back to 100% opacity. And we'll split the screen. We do this by adding a mask. I'm not entirely sure where the terminology comes from. Perhaps because we're disguising two clips as one? Who knows? There's a variety of masks we can make. Box, circular, or we can draw one freehand. If you have set up your shot properly, you can probably get away with using the box mask tool. However, I'm going to be using the freehand tool. You'll see why in a minute. Click the top layer video clip and then click the freehand mask tool. Every time we click the preview screen, a new point will be added. We can manipulate this point by clicking on it and dragging it around. Let's continue to click out our shape and then close it off by re-clicking the first point. Shazam! We've created a split screen. But wait a second, something's not right. Can you see it? Remember how I told you,
Don't touch the camera.
Well, I didn't follow my own advice. Here's the thing. I had to shoot this video over 2 separate weekends, which meant disassembling and reassembling all my camera equipment. Now I tried to replicate the same camera shot twice, and for what it's worth I did an okay job, but it wasn't good enough. So, how do we fix this? Well, we could go back and reshoot it, but maybe you don't have access to that location anymore or to your actors. How about shooting on a green screen? We could do that. But you know, with green screens, you've got to set it up, you've got to light it, you've got to make sure the light's even, you've got to then set down the green screen, take it apart, unplug the lights. So maybe you're stubborn. Maybe you're lazy. Maybe you're a glutton for punishment. Perhaps you are a combination of all these attributes. Well, fortunately, there's things within Hitfilm that we can do to fix this problem. Let's start by repositioning the clip of me. Click the top video layer, and on the preview screen, you'll see 2 arrows. One points vertically, the other one horizontally. We can use these arrows to reposition my clip to line up with the table. The table's lined up, but we've got a blank space just in the bottom of this clip here. That's okay, we can fix that a little later. The window isn't quite right either. Let's click our mask effect, and we'll use the freehand tool to reposition the mask slightly. There we go, that's looking better. See that sharp edge? That's the edge of where the 2 clips blend together. Twirl open the mask and shape properties, and we'll apply a feather. Feathering helps soften the sharp edge of the mask, and it will make the clip look a little more natural. You can already see that the edge has practically disappeared. As mentioned before, these 2 clips were shot on 2 different days, so the lighting wasn't even. You probably wouldn't notice, but if I turn the mask off and on again, you can see there's a difference. Let's make one more adjustment. We'll add a curves effect, which is a multifaceted brightness and contrast tool. Let's close down the top layer video clip and open up the second layer clip, the one of Chaplin. Head over to the Effects tab, search Curves, and then we'll click and drag it onto the Chaplin clip. We'll jump over to the control properties, and from here, We basically just play with the settings until we get something that looks evenly matched with the first clip. I'd say that's pretty convincing. Let's play the clip back and make sure everything looks okay. Okay, one final adjustment needs to be made to the mask. Right here, my face disappears out of shot. Effectively what's happening is my face is coming into contact with the edge of the mask and is basically bleeding out of existence. Now as it stands, we could leave this alone. The background is pretty overexposed and we could just explain this away as, oh, it's just a trick of the light, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I think it needs adjusting. We can fix this by changing just one point on the mask by clicking and dragging it. This process is called rotoscoping, and it's usually every VFX artist's nightmare. But in this case, I'm quite lucky. This seems to be the only change I need to make for this shot. We'll cover rotoscoping in depth some other time. Much better. Okay, let's jump back to the main timeline within the Editor tab. We want this to look like an old black and white movie. So let's jump over to the Effects tab again and search for black and white old stock. We could leave this video clip as is, but there's a couple more things we can do just to make it feel more authentic. I'll also add a letterbox effect, and I'll change the aspect ratio to something that would suit an old black and white movie. Let's add a shake effect to make it look old and unstable. I decided to make the shake amount 9, and I set the speed at around 2.1. Some of Chaplin's earliest movies were shot at 16 frames per second, so the action always felt a little fast-paced. Let's right-click the video clip and then click Speed Duration. Here we can see a percentage. 100% is normal speed. The lower the number, the slower the video clip plays, and the higher the number, the faster everything will be. For this particular clip, I'd say a setting of 150% to 200% will probably do the job. You'll notice that the tail end of the video clip has been kind of scrubbed out a little bit. Don't worry, this is perfectly normal. Right, let's play back the video clip one more time. And that, my friends, is how it's done. Wasn't that an amazing video, everybody? A perfect way to round off the bank holiday weekend, I'm sure. Please give me praise and affection. I have crippling self-doubt. You know, on that hard drive that I managed to salvage, I found some more video clips, unused ones, deleted scenes, if you like, from my old videos. Maybe I'll put something together with them. Maybe I'll do a kind of compilation. Maybe I'll stick them on Facebook, torment you some more, get you to show me some love for them. Maybe I won't do anything at all with them. I'll see how I feel. Thanks for watching this video, and well done for making it through to the end if you managed to do so. Stay safe, stay indoors, don't be coming and going. I love you all. Take it easy, folks.